Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 23 of Qwertycast. It is 2021, and we are starting off the year with each other, and you, whoever's listening. I know, right? Except for that one person, I thought I asked you to stop listening, but whatever. I know your resolution is to keep listening, as is my resolution to keep making this podcast. So I hope everyone is excited for this episode. Actually, my second resolution for the year is to start working on a video game for myself, or electrocute myself trying, go into the video game, defeat the boss, and become the king of the Matrix.
Become the video game boy?
Exactly. And either way, I'll end up in 2022 on top. How about you, Kenny? And Cam? And Dave?
Well, I'm more of a bottom, so...
Oh, true. I always forget that I subscribe to your OnlyFans.
Yep. Big Dick Charges XOXO6969420. There you go, guys. I'll see you there every week.
Every fucking week. On time, too. You're really punctual. I love that. Punctual and punctual.
It's always about, like, what, 1:23 a.m. every day?
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's the 123 stream.
Yeah.
But he's talking about his weekly pump and dump.
Oh.
So.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I mean with their shake weights.
They've leaked it.
So clearly, if you're listening, you can hear Cam.
Hello.
Say hi. You can hear Dave.
Hello.
And you can't hear me
No,
because
not at all.
I'm a ghost.
Not participating.
I didn't make it out of 2020.
Does anyone else have any interesting resolutions for the year? I totally made those up. But maybe I will make a video game.
I will walk 500 miles, and I will walk 500 more for a total of 1,000 miles. Shona made me commit to that yesterday. So.
Oh.
I
appreciate the reference.
Pokemon pedometer?
I'm going to use my smartwatch, but
it's not as accurate.
Right.
How about you, Ken and Cam? In unison
Cam.
now.
Oh.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm going
Have
to try
more
to fit back in my
love
short
and
shorts.
caring to everyone.
I love that.
Oh, mine sounds selfish, though.
I heard shorts.
Yeah, all I heard was shorts.
Yeah,
But
I'm fit into my short shorts again, which
Oh,
I'm already
Yeah.
doing. So,
Well,
Don't
then send me a
recommend-
picture so you can prove it.
Yeah. Yeah, Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Pics
fair.
of dicks or didn't happen.
I'll literally do it after this.
Post it on
I
Patreon.
have a pair of goal shorts as well.
Ooh, like
No,
dodgeball shorts.
I'm talking about like that, like what's that American brand? Like Chubbies. I'm talking about like that short.
Mm.
Oh my
Where
god.
you're moose knuckling the entire time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's nothing
Can I
you
just
can
get
do.
you a picture? Can I get a picture of you in MeUndies?
I'm actually wearing MeUndies right now.
My underwear is bigger than these shorts. That's all I'm saying.
Man, you're about to give us chubbies.
So speaking of interest in
We're
something, I don't know.
indie gaming and PC gaming
Is that what we are?
podcast about everything. Also talk about
The
everything
most-
else in between.
homoerotic indie and PC gaming podcast. I think
Today.
we
That
can definitely.
Of the week.
Of
That
the
was,
week.
that was like 5 minutes of just like trying to, sell my OnlyFans. You guys are
It's
killing
true.
it.
It fucking worked.
But I
His
love
only-
it.
I just
His
subscribed.
OnlyFans is, it's actually, the actual full link is patreon.com/QwertyCast.
Oh wow.
You cheeky son of a bitch. Anyway. Hell yeah, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, host.
So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Well, it turns out that
Well, it turns, sorry, are you hosting?
so we are going to move on to the news, and it's not so much news, but it's like
The round table.
the round table. It is an indie news, kind of news, PC gaming. It's just like the most interesting stories that we want to hear about and share for the week.
Would
Or
you say
the
that
double
it's
week.
indie news, PC news, and everything in between?
No, but I mean, if you want to use those words, that's fine. So the first person I wanted to push news over to was actually Cam. And Cam has an interesting topic this week with some... Well, I mean, Cam, you can introduce it to us. Spoopy scary.
Spoopy scary skeletons. So, have you guys ever played the original Silent Hill? Like, at all?
No, actually.
Oh,
No.
So you won't understand. Anyway, this is.
I only play scary games, Cam.
Well, this is scary, Kenny. That's the point.
Is it?
This is a. I just want to highlight some game that's about to come out by the developer of Puppet Combo. So this is a one man army, one man or woman army, or anything between, and they originally were from a production company called Pig Farmers Production, but they only developed 3 separate games. And if you keep going, like Puppet Combo, I think he releases like several different games a year. So I've played a couple of them. I think I played most recent one, which is not out on Steam. It's called Night Shift, where you just are a guy working at a gas station. And it doesn't take long to do anything. And you're actually just doing the entire tasking and all this stuff. There's some mini game in there where you're being chased by a killer, but it's not really scary because it's just a little tiny mini game. But as you're going, you kind of get this weird feeling because every time a customer comes in, a car will drive by and just stop in front of it, and you can see it in your in the glass pane. It's just like, that's kind of weird. Anyway, you keep going. I think it takes like an hour at most to play this game. And what happens is, eventually a killer, something, will just jump out and just hit you in the head with a hammer, and you're knocked out.
Oh.
And so the whole point of this game is to be the prequel to what is not yet released, but is going to be Stay Out of the House.
So you're saying Night Shift leads up to this, right?
Night Shift leads up to this. And this is only available. So Night Shift is only available on their Patreon, or you can like PayPal them to get it. But Night Shift Stay Out of the House is the most recent game that's about to come out. It uses PS1 graphics. This is like their thing. In fact, they like describe themselves pretty much perfectly. It's a game studio inspired by 80s VHS era horror. So they use like slasher movie tropes and
They have that VHS kind of filter on the game, which is kind of neat.
Oh, consistently.
Yeah.
Most of their games are like a stealth horror kind of game. They have some different ones like spiders where you're just shooting a bunch of spiders. And there's one that's Feed Me Billy. If you ever know what the Little Shop of Horror is, have you ever seen that movie?
Right.
Yeah. So basically you have this giant flesh eating hole in your closet. So you have to go around and kill people.
Not again.
God.
Oh, God.
No, that hole goes the other way.
So you have to go around killing a bunch of people. But yeah, so like some other games, just want to highlight, like I think Murder House is really good. It's just like a film crew, a news crew goes into this house being like, oh, this is where a bunch of murders happened. Turns out the murders are still happening to them.
Ooh.
And there's like grotesque horror going on. I love the sound effects, by the way.
Oh wait, have I even been listening to the sound effects? Let's see.
No.
I don't think I can. Kenny's
okay.
showing. Well, yeah. I see some on Kenny's screen. But
Yeah, if you're watching this on the way to see what we're talking about is by checking out Patreon.
yeah, because we're actually like screening the video.
This reminds me of when I played Fatal Frame.
Mm-hmm.
And also very much reminds me of trying to control Agent Francis York Morgan in Deadly Premonition.
Yeah, it was the same.
I was reminded by that game that we played for a second in Indie Saves, Happy's Humble Burger Barn.
Oh yeah,
I was thinking that
Love
too.
And I think this, like, some of these games Puppet Combo makes are kind of what I wanted from Happy's Humble, or like kind of what they were leading up to, it felt like. And I wonder, it'd be really interesting if they got to work together, maybe, or maybe they're inspired by Puppet Combo. But, you know, there's a lot of people making indie horrors right now.
This reminds me of a game
This
I
seems really
played called Cry of Fear.
Yeah. So Cry of Fear is like, I guess the mechanics are a little better, if you can say that. Because Cry of Fear doesn't use tank controls. That's something I'm glad went away in the PS1 era.
For those who aren't following along, join our Patreon so you can see the video of this podcast.
I literally
He
just
literally
said that.
just said that.
I know.
So Cam, have you played any of Puppet Combo's games?
Yeah, of course. So I played Night Shift. I played Murder House. I played Nun Massacre. Night
Nun
Watch.
Massacre sounds familiar. Like I feel like I've heard of that one the most.
It's basically just this
Possibly.
nun
Oh God.
gonna chase you.
Oh, I hate those fucking faces. The weird
Let's
ones
see.
where it's just like a bulging eyes and like completely white face and like red lipstick.
That reminds
Like-
me of those like websites that you used to send around in like middle school and stuff. And you'd be like, oh, check
yeah.
out this funny fucking video. And then it'd be like, what?
Yeah, people still do that.
Interestingly enough, when this guy was still working for Pig Farmer
Mhm.
production, they actually made a game called Babysitter Bloodbath, where like a guy
That one
escapes an asylum and then you're a babysitter, and he like tries to murder you. But
That name sounds very familiar. I feel as though
Babysitter
somebody that I know has mentioned it before.
well, the thing is, they actually made a book about it
Huh.
that is available
Wow.
on Amazon. Yeah, I was just like seeing all this stuff they have. It's like it's
Yeah,
kind of
right?
crazy.
I keep falling into like deep dives of the history of like a specific indie dev. They're just I mean, a lot of people do just a lot of shit to try to, keep themselves relevant and interesting.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm
I think
working.
looking at the video of this game, and I don't think that I would be able to handle it. I'm such a
This
little
looks
baby
fun.
with horror games.
This kind of looks fun.
which one are you guys looking at?
Nun Massacre.
Yeah. It definitely has that I don't what bit is this aesthetic? Is it like or
Is
it
it
looks like
PlayStation
It's
1
PSX.
graphics.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, PSX, PS1 fucking graphics. What else? We got that VHS overlay. You say you really like the audio design.
it has to rely, so it can't rely on graphics more. It has to rely kind of on jump scares and just like overall theme of what's going on and atmosphere.
And sometimes you can get really good scares out of what feels like broken, low quality like aesthetic. You can get like if I can't really tell the difference between the wall and an item because everything's just dark and crunchy, and then like a white face pops out at me, that is definitely terrifying because you're focusing so hard already to try to figure out where you are and what you're looking at. Anything that makes you have to focus and stare very like deeply at something is gonna definitely get your attention.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially how some of these games work. That Murder House one, you're just walking at one point, and it's like a murderer is the guy carrying, and he's like wearing a bunny suit for some reason, carrying a sickle. And you're just walking, and suddenly the whole scene just becomes covered in blood and gore, kind of like a Dead Space vibe, but it's PS1 graphics. And
Yeah,
there's a
Dead
spider
Space.
walking on the wall that's like massive, and then just goes away. Just to fuck with you. Only time it happens.
Fun.
Fun.
Fun. That's
So
awesome. So
Yeah,
they're the next game they're coming out with, you said was
stay out of the house.
Stay out of the house.
So you actually play these games now in their alpha stage, just for $7.95. If you go to puppetcombo.com. Basically, the whole point of this game is like the whole goal is to escape the house, and you have a certain amount of time to do it. But this guy called the Butcher has captured you, and he puts you on the top floor of the house. And each time you have to like solve the puzzles to get down to the next floor. But if he catches you, because he's wandering the entire time, he puts you right back up to the top. And if you don't solve everything by the time it's over, you're dead. And of course, there's other things that go on too. Like you can kill him, you can find out why this is happening, or you can just escape as well.
So it's like the worst escape the room ever.
It's like, nope, back in your room.
It's like the movie Escape Room,
Okay.
Or you die.
Gotcha.
where you die.
Where you
Right.
die. I really like that they are building their own gaming universe, their own like consistent thread
Vibe.
through their games. I really want to see more of that. So hopefully we can all keep our eyes and ears open for more indie devs that are trying that out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I super dig that. And in the same respect, the company that you mentioned earlier, Andres, the same people who made Happy's Humble Burger Barn.
Right, they were trying to do
they do the same
a
thing.
thread.
It's a whole universe thing. It seems like a big thread in horror or like some sort of eerie type thing to do that.
Oh, have you ever read into the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff? It's
I was
crazy.
about to say
I've
Nights
tried to
like
avoid
kind of
reading
started
into it.
that.
Oh,
It's
don't
just
even
so-
bother.
It's
Don't even
so
bother
dense.
playing. Just get into it. You can read it. It'll
Yeah.
be like hours.
And it's like they do such creative things with the story in the game too. But definitely, yeah, that's like Cam said. Definitely go read about the story of Five Nights at Freddy's because they do a really good, like, creepy plot and just the whole lore behind what the animatronics are and why you're even there is, yeah, just pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, well, that's
good
all I
story.
have. I just wanted to
Nice.
do a shout out to Puppet Combo. You can get
Thank you.
You can get a good combo of their games on itch.io, or you
yeah.
can just go, subscribe to their Patreon or just pay. And their most recent game, Stay Out of the House,
Mhm.
will be released sometime in 2021. Hopefully, there's no actual planned
Sweet.
release.
All right,
back
cool.
to
Well,
you.
We'll keep an ear out for it. Kenny actually is going to
Hi.
be next up. Hi.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you
No,
ready to talk about your news?
No, I was saying I am. I am next up. Don't
No,
you ever doubt it.
Sweet potato.
I'm actually going to
hot
override. I'm going
potato.
to start talking over Kenny and just do
Okay.
my story.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
So Kenny.
So, Dave.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, I'm talking about 2020 just passed, and we talked about a lot of games this past year, but there's still a lot of games that we didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've compiled a short list of some of those. The first is called The Last Campfire, and that is just I based a lot of what I described these on based off the trailer and descriptions, but this is a beautiful puzzle game about searching for meaning and a way home. And on the Steam store page, it says in all caps, "Discover a purpose." So it's one of those games that I could tell by the trailer that I would need to kind of prep myself for feels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems kind of heavy. And if you're watching this,
cute.
yeah, it looks really cute. The art style is phenomenal. It was described also as a charming dark fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's developed by Hello Games, which is the same developer as No Man's Sky. But unlike it, this game has fantastic reviews so far. Currently, it is available on all platforms, but you won't be able to find it on Steam until 2021, and that's due to like Epic Store exclusive stuff. So you can get it on Epic Store now, but until 2021, that's where you have to get it, or on your console if you're into that kind of thing.
If you like that kind of shit.
Um,
What's
but yeah.
next, Kenny? What other games are you into? What games? So like these are just games that you were really sad that you didn't get to play and will definitely try to grab some other time. Like they've been on your
Exactly.
list for a while.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
we haven't even talked about. Like you started telling this list before, and I was just like, no, don't know.
Right.
is
yeah. And Andres was like, "Oh, we got to make sure we haven't played these games yet, and just to be sure that we haven't vetted them."
Can I say that
That's
sounds just like Andres?
Thank you.
That's literally not what I said at all.
It's pretty much what you said.
It really.
I might
isn't.
be I might be
said,
paraphrasing a little
what
bit.
if you ask the other hosts what games they miss and you're like, no, because I have a list, so fuck you.
Yeah. It was more like, Kenny, I don't trust you, so I need you to make sure that these games haven't
Wow.
been played by the other
God.
hosts.
I try so hard.
Anyway, the next game
I-
I'm playing is called I Am Dead.
I would have
Yeah?
I would have loved if
If he asked you for your opinion,
if I could have
that would have been
contributed my
so
opinion
nice.
too,
Imagine
but
if
that's
this
okay.
podcast was more than one person.
Yeah. But this
I love
is
this art style.
this game looks very, very pleasant, very happy, and just looks like a nice time. It's
Yeah, this
very
is not what I was
vibrant.
expecting from I Am Dead.
Yeah, and over the whole trailer, it's like there's this narrator, and he's like, "This is my home, and this is my museum." And oh, by the way, one thing, I'm dead. And it's another puzzle adventure game, and it's one of those things where the game is about exploring the afterlife. Of museum curator Morris Lupton is the guy's name, and you're working alongside the ghost of his dog, which should be fun. Can you pet the dog? I don't know yet. I didn't look it up. Yeah. But you work along the dog to uncover ancient mysteries to prevent a volcanic eruption and save the place that they call home.
Pompeii.
I know, that sentence gets a little crazy. Developed by Hollow Ponds, and you can find it everywhere.
Pompeii.
Only $20. The last game was $15. This one's
it does not go well for them.
The next game is called Not for Broadcast. Ooh. And this game is kind of like Papers, Please meets Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ooh. See, I thought it was just a documentary of our podcast.
Not for Broadcast, the podcast.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
Who's so glad you're here.
We're rebranding.
Yeah, just so you guys know,
sorry, BRB
that
rebranding.
Name is already trademarked by us.
But,
what's the dev?
So the dev is, where is it? Not Games. NOTGAMES. Not Games. And published by Tiny Build, which also has published a lot of our favorites. So in a bizarre turn of events, you have to take control of a news broadcasting switcher and, quote from the Steam store page, choose the angles, roll the ads, and beep the swears. Just keep in mind that how you show these people will change their lives.
I love the idea
really
of this
creative.
game. I think I might... did you say this is already out?
Yes, this is out. This is a game we missed.
Right now.
This feels like a game that you should play in like a directing class in film school.
Yeah, it looks really interesting, and if you're watching, you can see that they use a lot of live action footage, which I think is really interesting.
Oh, are they the same dev from Hello Neighbor?
Let's see. Yeah, well, Tiny Build Games is
the publisher, developer or publisher? Okay,
publisher, Tiny Build.
And they also do No Time to Explain.
Yeah, and it also has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. So
it's a very creative idea.
Yes, definitely worth checking out. The next game I have, moving right along, is called Call of the Sea, which I actually am really excited to try out because it's and obviously we missed this, but this kind of has a Bioshock vibe that I got from it when I first watched this trailer, and it's on the YouTube, you'll actually see a comment that says Bioshock meets The Witness meets Sea of Thieves, which I also totally get. But it's set in the 1930s South Pacific on a lush island paradise, and it's a first-person puzzle adventure game where you have to puzzle out the secrets of a lost civilization in the hunt for your husband's missing expedition.
This is, oh my god, all of these games are so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Is this just like base level Unreal Engine now?
No. I don't know if this one was done in Unreal Engine, but Unreal Engine definitely makes it really easy to start doing stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is developed by Out of the Blue, and it's currently at $20.
Nice.
Ooh.
And I had a fifth
really
one.
You're right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So I had a fifth one called Dead Static Drive, which was supposed to come out in 2020, but is currently still not out. But it's like a top-down driving survival horror game, which immediately just sounded really cool to me, because that's just something that I'm totally into. But yeah, didn't have a lot of information as far as reviews or anything because it's not released yet. There's gameplay trailers on YouTube and stuff like that, but it's something I'm going to definitely keep my eye on regardless.
I like how their use of lighting and shadows. It just feels organic in a nice way.
Mm-hmm. I like that kind of pastel color palette that they have.
It's like kind of muted.
Mm-hmm. And all these games, I am pretty sure, are single-player games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these are just 5 games that we missed in 2020. So if you are looking to catch up, check these out.
They're
That's all
actually
I
the
got.
only 5 games we missed in 2020. We play a lot of games.
We played all the other ones.
We should still have maybe like 5 minutes of time. So considering that I knew your topic was going to be this, I would love to say that 3 of the games that I really want to still play that released in 2020, like definitely they're on my Steam wish list as well, is Ink and Fell. And Ink and Fell is a magic school RPG.
How do you spell
believe Ikenfell. Yeah, you got it. No, you got it. That's it.
It wasn't for me.
Okay, so you are. I don't even know if you were trying to make a joke, but it's fine. You're not that funny. So you are a group of kids who are learning.
I was literally trying to help our audience, but you're gonna be an asshole, so that's fine.
Oh yeah, okay.
Hey, don't hate for spitting the truth, okay?
Exactly. And it kind of looks akin to, well, it's turn-based RPG, but it has this nice 16-bit style to it. I wonder if the humor is going to be kind of like Earthbound, and it definitely has side-scrolling level design like Zelda. So it takes inspiration from a lot of stuff. It also was included in some in the Steam Winter Sale, which is going to end in 2 days our time. But it was under the LGBTQ plus moniker of the games that were on sale. So that kind of made me a little more interested in it. And I've been seeing stuff for it for, you see how you travel with 2 other people. That's so Earthbound. But yeah, I'm just really excited about this game. It looks really cool.
Earthbound.
And then the other game that I missed out on playing was Spinch. So Spinch is
I've heard of Spinch.
Super Meat Boy on acid. And it's really interesting looking. It's actually kind of funny that it's one of my games that I want to play
you
because
told me about Spinch, right?
Right, yeah, and I remember watching it because it was on a Steam summer sale, and then I saw people playing it on Twitch because there's that integration now, and it just looked insane and really funny.
Very trippy.
Yes.
Very. What's that Adult Swim show? Any Adult Swim show.
Yeah, pretty much. This Spinch looks like an Adult Swim commercial bumper that went on to be a game.
That's exactly.
Spinch is not a word that I'd like to hear in conversation.
Well, here we are.
You want to spinch me?
And then the last one I would say is Raji, which was an ancient Indian epic. And it just looked really pretty. It looked like it would probably play really long, and it goes into an Indian mythos, which one of my real personal goals is to learn more mythology from other cultures around the world, because I feel like Greek and Nordic mythology and Roman mythology, it's just very it's a lot of people know about it, and you don't get enough of a lot of other mythologies. So I really want to start with Mayan mythos, but games are always an awesome way to introduce yourself and understand a mythology of a culture.
I really love the look of this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Raji looks really cool.
At least this trailer is showing a very kind of rosy sunset kind of vibe. It's the camera follows you, but it'll rotate around the world a little bit, depending on where you are.
What are those games? I'm not gonna remember, but I do like how the camera follows you around the world and changes angles so that the camera always captures the most beautiful shot.
Yeah, and it reveals more to the world that you wouldn't see otherwise, I think.
Exactly. So those are 3 games that I was really interested in playing this year that I didn't get a chance to, and I might, buy and pick up in the next year and let you all know how it goes. Does anyone else have any other games?
Jinx?
If not, we can move
some that
over.
I want to play, but I just didn't. I think other people have played them. I wanted to try Curse of the Dead Gods. I didn't get a chance to.
Mm-hmm.
And Cartel, I want to try.
Yeah, Cartel looks cool.
and Noida I want to try. And those are three
Noida,
games.
I have. It's a lot of fun.
Have a good computer.
Like, those are games that I know you guys have played, so I wasn't going to really cover them too much. But those are three games that I thought all sounded like they were pretty much right up my alley. To repeat for everybody, the games Andres talked about are on his Steam wish list. So if you want to, win his favor, buy it.
Oh, this is like that
professionally
Amazon wish
dad.
list.
Say what?
It's like an Amazon wish list. Just
I had
send the
a,
link
I had a
out so
Secret
people can
Santa
buy
with
for you.
friends, and I just gave them my Steam wish list.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I want.
Yeah, it's actually, if you buy 2 or 3 games for Andres, he will send you a nude.
It's true.
It's not going to be of him, but he'll send you one.
No. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I was like, don't misrepresent me. You know I have unlimited nudes of everyone but myself.
Well, I just give them out of myself, so it's not even special.
Yeah, it's more just like when you have a really cheap coaster that you don't want to, like, that you don't care about ruining. That's what I do with your nudes.
I
Qwertycast,
actually
the
have
only gamers that give out their nudes.
I actually have packs of really cheap coasters. It's
Me too.
basically they're
Surprise.
going to last me forever. I use them as like leg stabilizers now because I have so many of them. Sometimes I use them as toys for the cats. I throw them so that they chase them.
That's kind of cute, actually.
Yeah.
Cam, did you have any 2020 missed games, or should we move on to Dave's segment?
I don't have any missed games, just games I can't wait to come out.
Well, maybe we should cover that in the next episode. Hey, all right. So, Dave, what is your stuff? Tell us.
Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is the rumor that has recently surfaced, or at least gained more traction, of Ubisoft Plus coming to the Xbox Game Pass, specifically Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass for PC. Chances are pretty high that it won't come to Xbox Game Pass for console because EA Play, another great service for people who want to try a bunch of games, got wrapped into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Xbox Game Pass for PC. Very specifically, Microsoft outlined they're not giving it to people with Xbox Game Pass for console only. But that service, just to give you some information, the EA Play just gives you access to some of their catalog. It's $4.99 a month normally. Otherwise, it's now wrapped into the Game Pass service. And it gives you, let's see here. More than 60 of EA's biggest titles, including FIFA 20, the Mass Effect series, and the Dead Space series.
That's EA.
Yeah.
I just want to know if it has The Sims with all of the add-ons.
So
because that alone is like $600.
It does have The Sims 4. I'm not sure about the other ones, but as far as the add-ons go, no. And I'm pretty sure that even with the EA Play Pro, which is $15 a month and not included with Game Pass, I don't even think that includes the add-ons. But I mean, the base game's still pretty cool to get for free.
At this point in my life, Sims is the only game that I would pirate. Just for that reason.
Fair enough. I mean, every single one of them has so much. Anyway, a little bit annoying in terms of the EA Play as well is that you can't play on Origin. You have to download a second app, like the EA desktop app. It's like a new beta app, I guess they're trying out. It's currently not available to PC players, though. They were supposed to do it in December of 2020. They pushed it back. They didn't really give a full, clear explanation for it. But if you have an Xbox and you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can access the games for EA Play now. This now piggybacks onto the Ubisoft rumor. Jez Corden, who is an editor for Windows Central, tweeted near the end of December of 2020 that the rumor seemed to hold a lot of weight. It seemed likely that it would happen. And I guess they kind of they added a little asterisk on that where currently Ubisoft Plus is $15 a month. It gives you access to cloud streaming through Amazon Luna, and Google Stadia, and over 100 games from the catalog, as well as day one access and CAM, the premium editions for Ubisoft's games. So unlike the EA Play, they would actually do that. Being that it's $14.99 a month though for that right now, it's more likely that they'll probably have like a lower tier that they then include with Xbox Game Pass if this does come to fruition. Just because, giving a service away for free for $15 a month doesn't really seem like the play that anybody would do.
Yeah, especially because some of their top games are in it, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which just came out.
Exactly. So imagine there will probably be some sort of limitations to it, I guess is the best way to put it. Also, probably something that'll happen before this ever gets to Game Pass, if that does happen, would be that Ubisoft Plus needs to launch a console app. Right now, it's actually only available on PC, which is not so great for the people who have Game Pass Ultimate but don't have a PC to actually play those games on. And that's really it. Honestly, it's a pretty short little news story because it's only a rumor. There's not a whole lot of solid evidence to the public eye of this actually happening or when it will happen. But my guess is that everyone thinks it's going to happen sometime in 2021. So probably, I would think the end of the year, personally, because that's what they did for EA Play. And that's really it. That's all I've got. It's
nice.
It's short, sweet, to the point.
It's just interesting, like
you're sweet. I was gonna say you're short and sweet, but you're not that short.
I'm not that short. I'm not that tall either. Pretty average.
Cam, you're tall and sweet. I'm sorry, I'm done.
Hearsay.
It's interesting how consoles are still trying to make themselves more relevant than PCs. Because you know that PC is the way that everyone's going because it's customizable and it tends to be cheaper for the long run. But
I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Well, maybe
argue that.
not.
I would say I make this argument all the time. But
Okay.
go ahead.
So I would say consoles, like they have. That's what they did a lot. Like a couple of years ago, is what their whole focus was to become entertainment systems, where it's like you put it on your TV, you can stream it, and then you also have games. And a lot of my friends who only do consoles is because it's just easier.
That's the main argument that I get from my friends is that it's just easier to plug in a console and play that way, and you can sit on your couch. You're far away. You don't need to have like a setup of any sort. You don't need to worry about upgrading parts. When a new console comes out, you buy a new console.
Yeah,
I disagree with them wholeheartedly because then they complain about the cost of playing online, and you're like, oh, where it's free to play online, and then they're like, no, shut up, I don't want to hear it.
I've already paid for internet. It's like exactly.
It also like having a console, I feel like severely limits what you can do. Overall, like. Not only could I play those AAA games that the consoles are playing, but I can also be like, you know what? I want something completely different and just Google, some indie game and find a gem. Like, honestly, like that you like would have a much harder time finding on something that primarily promotes AAA titles.
Despite the idea... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say every console, though, now has an established video game and indie section, exactly. And there are like a lot of pushes, especially on YouTube, to cover the indie games that are releasing on those platforms. So they are trying really fucking hard to stay relevant with that. But you don't have itch.io games on that. You don't have, it's not like the newest.
You can't have someone send you like their sort of finished game that they're like, hey, review this, like on a zip file, which is how we've played some games from developers, which is just fantastic.
So
the other thing that I'll go and do really quick is that these same friends, despite the fact that they'll go and say, like PC gamers very pretentious and everything, it seems that their general opinion is that if it's not on console, it's not worth playing, which obviously we all disagree with and know is not the case. But that tends to be a lot of people who exclusively play consoles have a similar opinion to that from my experience of people I've talked to.
I feel so seen.
Yeah, so true. Well, I'm going to keep asking you about this update. Hopefully we can all just see what goes on with that, with Ubisoft's rumor, and just if it'll eventually, when it will make its way to PC.
Absolutely. I mean, Xbox Game Pass is probably one of the best deals you can get if you want to play games. There's plenty of indie games on there too that I've just been like running through and trying, and if I like them, I keep playing them. If I don't like them, I can uninstall them.
Yeah.
And if Ubisoft gets their library added to it, even though that's not really indie, it will severely increase the value of Game Pass.
And then eventually we can all buy packages of all of these different platforms like cable, and it'll be great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so far, Xbox has rolled them in, though. They aren't charging different premium tiers for EA Play roll-in. The only difference is that they just don't make it available to those who only have Game Pass for console. Mm-hmm. That's like the one exception so far.
Yeah, it'll make its way. Yeah. So, to move on into our last news indie info segment, I actually have The Binding of Isaac: Repentance. So, quick
It's a big
question.
favorite of yours. Like Binding of Isaac, I've seen you play that a ton, just in general. The old one, right?
Right. So I'll start off specifically with what exactly is The Binding of Isaac, because over the years, I was a huge fan in the beginning, and then I kind of fell off because I didn't really understand how the expansions were working. I always expected a new game to come out, and people would talk about these sequel-sized updates to the game. But The Binding of Isaac is, if you don't already know, it's a game made in 2011 by Edmund Macmillan and Florian Himsel. And the game came off of they made it in 3 months, and it came off of the popularity of Super Meat Boy, which had just come to console, and Edmund also made Super Meat Boy. So he was a really big indie game developer on Newgrounds that we all kind of grew up following, like someone like Aaron Hansen, you know? There's just a lot of games that you've played by him, I'm almost sure of it, that you might not even know. And so the point of Binding of Isaac and these content updates is that it's always just a load of content for the base game that comes out. So Binding of Isaac came out in 2011. After that, they did Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which is what they actually put onto Steam. And so Binding of Isaac Rebirth was no longer the Flash game that was available on the web. It was actually the game that you could download off of Steam. After Rebirth, they had I think it was Afterbirth. And so Afterbirth was the next big content update for Binding of Isaac, and it just added like a lot of items, a lot of bosses, new levels, new characters, stuff to keep you playing. They also had a lot of small like hidden gems, because the point of Binding of Isaac is that it plays like a Zelda roguelike. So you're going side to side, exploring your map, and you have secret walls that you can blow up. As you get items, you actually stack visually and physically, so you will see yourself become this monstrous creature by the end of the run, because you just have so many items on you. Kenny's showing a video right now, but for example, something that somebody can have is like covered in flies, one big giant eyeball that makes your shots stronger, and just like all these horrible deformations on Isaac. Obviously, maybe not obviously, you may know The Binding of Isaac as a story from the Bible. It's in Genesis. And it is kind of this religious there is a religious connotation to the game, because Edmund had a troubled childhood, and he lived in a very religious household. So he made this game as a reference to how toxic that was for him. So the Binding of Isaac references these very religious, has very religious implications to it, and it also tends to kind of go into the side of the occult, because they'll jump into things like tarot cards and like characters that are like devilish and demons, and it has a lot of hidden lore that they don't explain explicitly because the devs specifically want you to have stuff to really try to search for and find. And they want to have Easter eggs and secrets that make you excited to find it. So speaking about Easter eggs, though, Afterbirth Plus came after Afterbirth. That was another huge content update for the base game. And what happened with Afterbirth Plus, though, was that there was a bit of a critical reception. It felt like the game was actually broken a little bit, and people weren't super happy about certain updates that had happened to. I think there was a coin machine there was something wrong with the coin machine where it would actually cap at 129 cents, so you couldn't keep filling up the fortune coin to get like higher luck. And what ended up happening from I believe it was a mini documentary I watched, I learned that Afterbirth Plus had these breaks in the game in order to lead people onto an real life scavenger hunt that found them in places around the world finding Easter eggs that were left by the game devs in order to unlock a new character called the Lost One that's cool, hidden in Afterbirth Plus. Hopefully I have the whole timeline correct, but I was just watching a bunch of information on this. So the Binding of Isaac has a lot of really interesting lore. The world of Isaac continues after these games. Like, Edmund Macmillan actually created a board game that he made within a year with his wife called The Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. And so that continues kind of the world of Isaac onto tabletop gaming. And other than that, he has a new game called The Legend of Bumbo. And The Legend of Bumbo is a game where it's sort of a spoiler, but you are technically Isaac, but in your own imagination, in a cardboard box, pretending to fight figments of your imagination that are evil. So there's all of these elements of, if you look closely at the setting, it actually makes sense that it feels very dark, feels very weird, because like for Binding of Isaac, as you go down in the dungeons, you're going deeper and deeper into like a really cryptic basement that's full of demons. And that's because the mother in Binding of Isaac is very religious and they're like trying to kill you. So I don't even know what else I can say about the story, but it is a very good game I've played for years, and I was really excited to find about what the whole point of my segment is, Binding of Isaac Repentance. So here's the coolest thing about the whole story. Before Afterbirth Plus came out, the fans had modded the game and created Antibirth. Antibirth came out in 2016. Let me see. Yeah, Antibirth came out in 2016. It had a great reception, but of course it was buggy because it was made through the mod community. Edmund took the devs from Antibirth, brought them onto the Binding of Isaac, and they're taking all of Antibirth and making it specifically work for the base game. So now, if you go on to the updates, which we got an update at the end of the year, in the beginning of 2021, that the Binding of Isaac Repentance is coming out in March 31st of this year. And it is specifically made by the devs who created the modded Antibirth. It is going to be the last content update for the game. It might be the biggest content update ever. And it's being directed by Edmund himself. So he's directing the modders to help create and develop that huge expansion for the base game. It's going to have all of the characters that you would recognize from Antibirth, plus more content, more bosses, more everything. I really fell into a fucking YouTube hole looking into all this information because
it sounds like just a hole to be in.
I know.
There's a lot.
And it was good too. It's like, on top of all of the Binding of Isaac stuff, which on face value you're like, okay, dead baby joke, we're over it, but it's good. It's a good game. The Binding of Isaac started the roguelike genre, or maybe not even started, but it definitely pushed the momentum on what roguelikes were. There's a lot of games that you can tell have direct inspiration from the Binding of Isaac, just like The Legend of Gungeon, which does that same thing where they're building on the base character with every add-on that you get. Also the Zelda-like map crossing.
Does that Enter the Gungeon?
What did I say?
You said The Legend of Gungeon.
The Legend of... Is it not?
Are you thinking of...
No,
there's Legend of Dungeon.
There is Legend of Dungeon. Yes. Enter the Gungeon which because there's also Exit the Gungeon, but Enter the Gungeon definitely has direct inspiration from Binding.
The game I was playing yesterday also very clearly when I was looking at that, I could see where there was the influence.
Mm-hmm. And so all is to say, buy Binding of Isaac, pay for Repentance because it's going to be about $15, I think, which is worth it because you brought in new devs to do their work for the base game, and they've been working on it for, I think, 3 years, plus the 2 years that they were already working on Antibirth. And as of like September, honestly, you can search and you will find postings from Edmund and from the devs on the Steam Workshop community. There's interviews with all of the developers and content updates for the game, updates about what's going on and where they're at and why they're taking more time. Edmund is now more active on Twitter, talking to people and answering questions about the game itself and the new expansion. And although they say that this is the last expansion for the Binding of Isaac, I don't think it's the last we'll ever see of the lore and world of Isaac, specifically because we already have Bumbo, and that plays into the world of the Binding of Isaac. Edmund McMillan, to me, seems like the kind of guy who's going to just continue working as a director and producer of video games, especially in the indie realm. I don't think that he's even close to being done with video games. And he has a lot of wisdom and experience to offer to people. And from everything I've read and seen, he also just seems like a genuinely awesome person. So working with him hopefully is a fun experience. Hopefully he continues to bring new innovations to indie gaming. He always seems to be bringing new like prototypes and other people's prototypes of different game mechanics and designs into the games that he creates. There's so much more information I could even talk about him, but
rabbit hole.
I know, it's a fucking rabbit hole. And I feel like I spoke so fast for so long.
No, you did great. Also, and really quick fun fact, the system requirements for storage for Binding of Isaac Repentance is 666 megabytes.
Yeah, it's a very small game. It still kind of looks like a Flash game if you have only Rebirth, but it plays fun. I still need to buy Antibirth so that I can have like a newer version of the game. But
I pointed that out more as I think they
you
did
missed
that.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that went over your head a little bit.
Oh, I did not. Yeah, maybe it did. What do you say?
That
666.
yeah, 666. Yeah, I think that's their joke, but
yes,
just
definitely.
Anyway.
Oh, there's absolutely all these occult references and devilish references in the game.
R.I.P. Flash, by the way, since you mentioned them.
I know.
Yeah,
It is
true.
the new year. They are gone.
There is a Flash repository online. There's probably a few, and Binding of Isaac is absolutely in those.
Yeah.
It's just a really, I don't know. It was just a really good game. It definitely started a lot of indie momentum back in 2011. So did Super Meat Boy. So we know that Edmund is kind of one of our indie forefathers a bit. So that's just my spiel.
Hefty words.
Yeah.
Hefty words.
I
We're
mean,
going to have to
who
define
else
the
would
other
you?
three fathers.
Or mothers, or they themers.
Yeah, if anything,
Well,
Binding of
there
Isaac
could be
is
as
our
many mothers
foremother.
as you want, but you said four fathers, so I'm holding you to that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I guess I always thought, I never considered 4 as in the number. I thought it was just like forefathers. Like,
Oh no, you're correct. It is 4 as in B4.
oh, okay, cool. I was
I'm
like,
just
did
being,
I
I'm
really?
making a really bad joke as usual.
Anyway, we played a game today.
No, come on.
I was going to say, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I first just wanted to know if anyone had any thoughts about Binding of Isaac after all of that.
Oh.
Are you worried about content? What's the word? There's too much content.
Okay. Like
Oh.
in
Are
the
you worried
general
about-
game.
Yeah. Yeah, are you ever worried about that?
Hmm.
Because I play a lot of Terraria, and there's
Yeah.
a mod like called Calamity, and basically it comes to the point where it's oversaturated with content, and there's like nothing else you can really do.
Right, you can't really like adjust or turn off content that you don't want to use.
There's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's overwhelming.
You know, that's a good
oh,
point
yeah.
because it's like there never really has been a separate game that came out. It's always just expansions and expansions. But I feel like with The Binding of Isaac, because it is a roguelike, the absurd amount of content will only help give you a new experience every time you play. So if and it seems like, especially with this kind of game, it'd be great if we got new players or they got new players, but it's definitely for the existing players because the community still exists. There's still a huge following for this game and people who are probably bored of the items that they've already played through. So it's the same thing with Terraria. Didn't it have a huge expansion recently? No, well, I guess you're saying it's oversaturated now. So
well, the mod Calamity is, but so Terraria didn't even say they're gonna, like, when they did the 1.3.1 update or something, they're like, this is the last update we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then 1.4 came out. So they just like to throw a wrench in the system.
All the game devs, I give me a nickel for every time I've heard, oh, this is the last blah we're gonna put in this game. But so check out that game, check out Repentance, read into the story behind this dev and behind this game. It's really interesting. Thank you for your time. And that actually, like Kenny was saying, moves us off of the news and moves us on to our Let's Watch for the week. So Let's Watch, if you don't already know, it's where we play a game, you listen to us review it, and you can also watch it on YouTube because we're going to release that by the time this episode comes out. And we played Heave-Ho, that is published by Devolver Digital. And I can't remember who the dev was. Heave-Ho. I had this so... Yeah, okay, the dev was... I had this. Le Cartel Studio. Le Cartel. And publisher Devolver. So we played...
You sure that is in French?
Le Cartel? It could be. Do you want to try a French accent?
I don't know how to do a French accent.
You could give it your best shot and alienate our audience if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Heave-Ho, we played together. We had a 4-player party. It was a freaking mess. All of you are horrible people, literally the worst, and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Wow. Now I don't want to give him.
Yeah.
So Kenny first, how did it feel to be a complete bastard?
Well, my dad died when I was young, so it was something that I had to get used to pretty early.
Oh,
wow.
I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, I know. You can sit with that. Like every day.
What was your actual question?
How do you feel about the game that we
Heave-Ho.
played? Did you enjoy screwing everyone over all the time?
All the fucking
yes. That question makes a lot more sense.
it's very pointed,
it was great.
too.
It was it was great. It's definitely a game that was catered around people working together and also very intentionally not working together. And I really wish it had like a versus mode where like you could team up with someone. But that being said, we still had such a blast playing that game. It was
We made our own versus mode.
We kind
We
of
did make our own versus mode.
and then it
can
fell
I
apart
say,
all the time.
you guys can heave this hoe whenever you'd like.
Especially when we discovered the mechanic to charge up and push someone.
Oh my god.
It was over.
That
Yeah.
was the beginning of the end. Truly.
You'll definitely see it on our YouTube once we release it. It should be out hopefully by the time that this episode is out.
Or you can hear a bit of a clip of it right now. So wait, guys, be 3 long and and extend the coin over to my hand, and I'll grab the coin.
God, I wish there were just
use it as a link.
3 of me.
Here, use this coin. You got it.
Oh, almost there. We're doing it perfectly.
Let go,
So
Cam. I'm sorry. Cam, grab Dave, and Dave let go. Dave let go. Not of me.
I fucked it up. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
that was hilarious. If I do say so
I love that.
myself.
I hate all of you for that moment.
And I love that for you. Oh my
Um,
god, this game was okay. So I will be honest. Since we're recording in Discord, we see our faces. As I see my green box light up, there's just this weird instinct in my mind that I want to grab the edge and swing to the other side. And this game is just... What are you doing, Dave? Okay. This game is just...
There's a very loud noise. I will be right back. I was trying to do it silently, but you've called me out, so...
I thought you were
my
doing
hand.
a joke, so...
You're breaking the fourth wall.
yeah.
too
We'll
much
just cut it.
nowadays.
I hope you just like end up in the house of the person that's listening to this. So Heave-Ho has definitely given me... It's just broken my mind. I really want to keep playing it and swinging my arms around.
Yeah, I think it's like going for the trying to confuse you with the controls a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The controls aren't really that hard at all.
It's just remembering which arm you're using and grabbing onto things with.
I love getting splattered in blood.
Oh my god, that stuff was freaking hilarious.
Pink
I couldn't even
fun.
see my... so that's the other thing about getting splattered in other people's blood, is that like if your face is completely covered and you have like a roundish head, then you can't really tell what side of your head is up and down, and that creates a little bit of difficulty. But
And if it wasn't clear, you play as a head and two arms
Yeah.
in this game.
with elbows that can bend in both directions.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a good point to mention. And you just have to grab as best you can and not hit spikes and not fall off, and grab the coin and grab the rope and grab each other and swing and don't miss.
Oh my god.
And we loved it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
And I definitely want to play that again on Twitch again.
As far as we can tell, this is local co-op though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I mean, you can't play it using
Yeah.
Parsec.
Right,
or
that's
any
what
other
we
kind of
did.
means.
Also, by the time this episode's out, the stream from Twitch should still be up on our...
Yeah,
Twitch.
probably. If not YouTube, but, one way or the other, you'll find it video-wise published. Oh, man. Yeah, so there's more. I feel like Qwertycast, I've said this a bunch of times, but I feel like we can definitely benefit from streaming games where you need a party of 4 or more, because we are pretty good at getting a party of 4 or more together.
We are a party of 4 or more.
We are, just at a base level. So if we get all the hosts on one thing, like we've done with Golf with Your Friends, we can have a 6-person game, easy. Add Gary
Easy.
in, 7, easy. Add another rando
Easy.
person in, Jackbox, easy. So Heave-Ho, what else can we say about it? I don't know, okay, so mechanics are fucking hilarious. It's very QWOP in style, just like trying to understand where your arm is and how much you can bend. I noticed that when you have to grab coins, oh my god, that's amazing. Sorry, I'm just watching the video.
Oh my god! All right, let's move on. I think we've said all that we need to about Heave-Ho.
Oh yeah, I was just
And
gonna
I think-
yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No.
Okay, in that case, check out the videos that we post.
Yeah.
On the YouTube and on our Twitch. We'll definitely be playing more Heave-Ho, so you can check it out for yourself.
Thank you for watching. Heave-Ho, what a good game. What's next? Let's see.
Indie saves.
Indie saves.
Oh, right.
David.
I have more things to talk about. I forgot entirely.
Yes, you do.
Let me start Indie Saves off
Yes.
by saying that the
Yes.
last game was Red Trees by developer Caramel. I think, all enjoyed it, despite it being very short. I played it on a little Discord stream. Sometimes we stream into our Discord. You should join so that you can watch them.
Oh, we played on Discord, not on Twitch.
I think we played it together too.
We did, yeah. Everyone started just playing it together, which was nice. There was not really any difference in ending, which I think we were disappointed by.
Yeah.
But
there was
But,
well,
like,
not
only
ending.
slightly.
yeah, like slightly, but
like a
not really.
conversation.
But anyway, overall positive. I need to go on to Itch and leave another review.
Mm-hmm. I should too.
It's
It
really
was-
pretty simple color palette. Lots of yellow, lots of red, lots of lavender.
Yeah, very much a Game Boy Advance style type thing.
Yeah.
When they
Oh,
actually
yeah.
add
Like-
color.
So the first town is so palette town. Like
Yeah.
definitely, it has that body of water and like 3 houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I liked the most about it was just the little text that comes up when you start reading stuff.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, all the flavor text was very good.
Flavor. Oh,
and,
that's a
and
good. Yeah.
I'm assuming that some of that was added in that update because that English update made improved the music and did some other fixes. I'm not sure because I didn't play the old one. But anyway, moving on now to the game for this month, essentially, will be Bittersweet Birthday by World Eater. I kept looking. I could not find a huge amount of information on the dev. And I imagine maybe a little bit more could be found on their itch profile. But regardless, this seems to be their first game. I don't see anything else about it, but it was released and named in December of 2020. Direct from their itch.io page, Bittersweet Birthday is an action game where every combat encounter is a challenging and unique fight. You can also explore different areas and help many of the NPC, populating them with their everyday struggles while learning more about the world and its history. So I love the idea that by helping it out, you can actually learn a little bit more about what you're doing, and it's not just like little side quests that don't do anything. So I guess maybe you get what you put into this game. The story synopsis here is you wake up dazed with no memories. Under the threat of unstable individuals hunting you down, the only chance of escape is to listen to the strange voice you hear.
Sounds like my New Year's.
The game itself is actually just a demo currently, but I assume they'll build it out for a larger game overall. There is a suggested donation of $2, but you can just download it for free. I think it's really nice that despite being a demo, there's up to about 90 minutes of gameplay for it. It supports both PC and Mac, and it also has fully remappable input and support for PS4 and Xbox controllers. So a lot more than you normally see, in my opinion, from these small itch games. And also the graphics are beautiful. Kenny's got some of it on stream. It looks like a nice little I feel like this looks almost like it could have been on the GameCube, personally. But
yeah, I can see that.
This demo is available on itch.io, which is World Eater, one word, -dev.itch.io. And
Nice.
if you want to find out more about the dev, follow along with their cycle and everything, first off, join us, join our, and subscribe to our Patreon so that you can join in on the conversation here. Then go to worldeater.games, which will link you to their Twitter, their Discord server, and even has a contact email for the dev. That's really all I've got to say because we haven't played it yet. But I am actually super excited for this.
Looks
And
very cool.
I thank Andres for the suggestion of this game.
I too am excited to play it.
Yeah, it gave me, what was the vibe that it gave me when I was just saying it earlier. Oh, the character reminds me of Toon Link from Wind Waker a little bit, but that has nothing to do with the aesthetic. It looks nothing like that. But like the hair and the eyes kind of did. And so like you were saying, Dave, Qwertycast.com has our links to everything, including our Patreon, where for I think at least $1 you'll be, or $2 to holler to be a regular, and then you can post in the indie saves spot in Discord. And Discord link, the Discord invite is also at Qwertycast.com.
I don't know why I pulled this up on the screen. So if you're watching this, you're already a member, so
Right.
You get it.
So I am excited for Bittersweet Birthday. I love that we keep doing this book club-esque thing with indie games, so hopefully more people listen to this and jump in on it. Rad. In terms of, well, actually, I think that might put us at the end, guys. Are we in endgame?
We're in the
yeah.
end
Are
game.
we
We're just-
endgame boys?
I just want to hear about like what everyone has been up to over the holidays. How was your New Year? Were you safe? How's everyone doing?
Were you sorry?
Were you sorry?
Well, yeah.
If you don't mind, I am actually going to.
We do mind. Tell him, Andres, how much you mind.
I'm
about one.
gonna say my stuff first
Go for
because
it.
I just learned that I'm holding up some plans because we're running a bit over on our originally scheduled times.
The more time you
So-
explain it, the less time you have.
Yeah. So we had some family that came in. We all did our COVID testing before getting together. They drove down so that they didn't have to go on a plane. Today, day of recording, is their last day here, which is why I need to wrap myself up. But we've gotten to spend time with them. We had 2 Christmases essentially, which was pretty dope.
Nice.
I got some good stuff, including this really cool cigarette table that you can't see, but I've shown off to several other people. And an over the sink dish drying rack, probably one of my favorite gifts of Christmas 2020.
I literally just saw a
sounds
meme
great.
about how when you're adult and this shit excites you, and it's a picture of that.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of me getting excited.
Well, Dave, that's really nice of you to, you come onto the podcast even though you had company and still be able to do all the things that you want to do.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're able to do that.
I did not know that the dinner plans were rolling right into the other thing that I missed earlier. So, many apologies for that. And I'm sorry that I can't hear how your guys' New Year's and stuff went. Oh, also we bought fireworks. We set some off, but it was raining on New Year's. So,
Nice.
Wet works.
yeah, we set some off the day after and almost broke a window with one of them. And then we very easily could have started a fire with one of the other ones. So,
Wow.
good times.
Yeah,
Nice.
great time.
And that's what I'm
Rich
going to
and
leave you guys with. I
Well-
hope that you guys all had great holidays too.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. We're happy that you're safe and had a good holiday. And thanks for being here.
Farewell.
Dave Cast.
Bye,
out.
Dave. Dave Cast out. DCO.
DCO. Ooh. Cam, how about you?
Uh,
How was your New Year's? What have you up to? What have you up to?
It was all right. I didn't really do too much, to be honest.
Mhm.
Nothing for New Year's. I just stayed in. And
Same.
for Christmas, I just saw my mother
Nice.
and didn't play any games.
Nice.
Just
How
chilled.
freaking dickin' dare you?
Yeah. That's nice. You gotta step away sometimes.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you really do.
Yes,
I
you
have
do.
been so obsessed with a couple games recently. Kenny knows.
Yeah, why don't you tell us?
Well,
Cam's
Hey,
done.
what have you been up to?
as Kenny knows, Kyle in our Discord bought him and I the game called Oxygen Not
Him and I.
Included, and I mentioned this
The
in
game
the
I've
last
been eyeing for a
package
while.
episode. Sorry, and oh yeah, have you been?
Mm-hmm. It was on my wish list.
Oh, nice. I hadn't even heard about
that-
it. All I knew about Clay Entertainment was Don't Starve. But
Yeah, this was something that I think I had on my wish list since last year.
Mhm.
And Kyle came to me that one day and he was just like, "Hey, Oxygen Not Included. Do you still want that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I've been looking to get that at some point." And then he's just like, "Bam, there you go." And then we've literally been obsessed with it.
Yeah, he literally just gave us drugs and we took them wholeheartedly. So we created a voice and text chat in Discord because we were on that for so much. And then Dave separately had been pushing for me to buy this 2-pack, really cheap 2-pack of 7 Days to Die on Green Man Gaming. And I bought the 2-pack after a week of mulling it over, and he kept pushing it and pushing it. I'm like, I don't care. This kind of looks like maybe I don't really want to play it. Totally wrong. 7 Days to Die is kind of the game that I want to make because it's a zombie horde farming or like tower defense farming sim. It's really interesting. You have a very complex, not very complex, but like you have a complex enough skill tree that you can build out. Everyone can kind of major in different things. So since we have at least 4 or 5 people playing in my server, I'm gonna start like learning cooking and possibly medical stuff. Max is gonna learn engineering so we can build bikes and cars and travel around the map farther because it's such a big map. And we found a really good spot to hold up and create a fortress. So just the game feels really big and like we're gonna get a lot of time out of it, and I'm really excited for that. So to you two, who I'm pretty sure both own the game, definitely jump in as soon as you can so you can gain as much experience as possible. And we're about to be over the hump of the first 7 days. Every 7 days is a zombie horde that can wipe you out. And if you survive it, you have another 7 days until the next zombie horde. Even though there are zombies intermittently and throughout the whole world. So yeah, it's a really fun game that we played until 5 a.m. last night. And we had to pull ourselves away from. So, but I don't think I'm going to take any breaks on games as much as I should. That's me. That's really the most I've been doing. It's just playing a lot of video games and trying to do more indie stuff for our podcast.
Nice.
Well, Kenny.
I had a nice little visit with my mom up in Jersey.
Hey.
Leah and I drove up, and it was just me, her, and my mom, and we wore masks the entire time. And it was nice. It was actually a really nice Christmas. Really nice Christmas. And then New Year's, we it was me, Leah, and our roommate that just stayed here and celebrated New Year's and had a bottle of champagne, played some Jackbox, and had a gummy, and it was just a really fun time. We're just chilling here.
You know what they say, champagne for my real friends, real pain for my sham friends.
I like that. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Oxygen Not Included and trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to live that best life.
Take control of our destinies.
Trying to maintain my level of bastardness while also being more caring toward people.
You've been doing a great job.
Of the first part.
Oh.
Oh, wait. No, not the first part. Sorry.
Oh. Wait.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
But yeah. Anyway, that's all that's that's really up for me.
Wow.
And
beautiful update. I love that. Everyone, please
Thanks.
give Kenny an applaud.
just one applaud?
Just one. Just a single cricket applauding with its 2 legs.
Thanks,
That's great.
Cricket.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
Cricky.
Jiminy.
Oh, you call him Jiminy? That's really sad. He said I can call him Cricky. I love seeing your face because you're just like, I hate you. So
No, you're reading my face wrong. It's more of like, that was really dumb, but I don't want to tell him that was really dumb.
Oh, because you're trying to be more caring. That's fair. Thank you, Kenny, for respecting my intellect. Thank you, Cam, for coming on as well. I didn't think we were going to have you until not the 11th hour, maybe the 2nd.
That's fair.
So, but it's always nice having you on, seeing your beautiful face.
Beautiful face.
I know. I know it's nice.
So thank you guys. I think this is probably the best place to wrap up the podcast. Everyone, please reach out to us through all of our different links. There's going to be an outro, so I don't want to get into that too much. But, reach out. Qwertycast.com. We're around. We love you. We want to hear from you. Give us more opportunities to share your thoughts on the podcast about the games that we're playing, the games that you're playing. Qwertycast loves you. And Qwertycast out.
This episode is brought to you by our Patreon subscribers, our Qwertycast hosts, our audio engineer and musical master Gary, and you, our listeners. If you would like to join our community, find us through Qwertycast.com, which has links to all our platforms, including Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Discord, and more. On behalf of everyone here at Qwertycast, thank you for listening. This is Kenny saying Qwertycast